And then there was one of the Eastern Conference Finals is officially over. Welcome to the association. We are presented by Caesar Sportsbook. Rudy Gay, Isaiah Thomas, Mike Yam with you. Boy, oh boy, the Knicks one step closer, ending a drought that is more than a century old, a half century old. New York, 53 years since their last championship. Haven't gotten to the finals since 1999. They are 4 wins away from winning a title. Chips were in the middle of the table. We said, as the Knicks fans, they got to go and get it done. Most impressive thing that you've seen through this postseason, which has just been dominant.
Man, total domination. Them guys came in there with the point of emphasis. They wanted to get to the finals. Last year, obviously with the coach firing, they felt like they could do more, and they got there. You know, this is big. This is big for the league. This is big, obviously, for New York. I know all the fans out there going crazy, son. You know, but it's all good. It's fun.
I mean, you got to give a shout out to them. They're doing their job. They're doing their thing. They're the most dominant team in the league right now. The last 10 or 11 games. That's hard for me to say.
I was just gonna say a little hesitation.
But I'm a show love where it's due, and you gotta tip your hat off to the New York Knicks, the coaching staff, the players. They made adjustments early on in the playoffs, and they've been rolling ever since. They definitely been outplaying what I believe they can do, and that says a lot.
IT Rudy made an interesting point here. This was a season, get to the finals, and if you don't, it's a disappointment. The fact that they're here at this point, how difficult is that? I mean, this is a team that's been knocking on the door. Last year, certainly, got to the conference finals. Again, weren't able to get over the hump. How difficult is that in the game of basketball?
I mean, it's very difficult, especially when you change coaches as well. Like that hasn't been talked about enough to be able to still play at the level that they're playing at, and then even throughout the season, it was so up and down to where when they played really well, they looked like the Knicks that everybody wanted to see. And then when they didn't, they was not one of the top teams. So they're rolling at the right time. They're meshing at the right time. Coaches made amazing adjustments. And you got to give a hat off to the players as well. Like Cat, he didn't win conference finals MVP, but he's been the MVP the first 3 rounds, just how his play has changed from where he was in the season to how dominant he is in more assets of the game other than scoring.
Yeah, his evolution has been remarkable in this postseason, and I think it speaks to what we have seen across the board. This is a balanced attack that the Knicks are bringing to the table. Keep in mind, as soon as some of the players, both the winners and the losers, hit the podium, we will bring you those press conferences right here on NBA TV. But let's show you how it all went down. We got to look at this dude, Jalen Brunson. How about Ewing in the background there?
He's locked in,
man. He's locked in, man.
It's like game day.
Which do you listen to in them headphones?
Oh, no.
Some sort of throwback in there. All right, the run was impressive by the Knicks. All right, we'll show you the 3-0 run. Shaman, who, by the way, has been stellar in this series. There's Jalen Brunson. See, look, it just continues to pour on. 6-0 run is we're going to add to this total here. Man. Robinson with the finish.
Man, this is at all cylinders. Everybody's just playing free, having fun, man.
10-0 run, Alvarado.
And it's like not the same person. All these highlights is a different person scoring. And if you watch the Knicks bench, every time they score, like everybody's hyped. That matters.
Shaman, got it. To your point, IT, I mean, at one point at halftime they show, and it's like 5 dudes with all at least 15 points in this game.
Shout out to Spike and my guy Al Caldoni.
Yeah, Al, I need a jet.
Yeah, we need to get to New York, man. Send the jet. Send the jet, Al. Send the jet.
The 18-0 run. How about this? I was joking with you guys. I said this caps a 20-0 run. Cat the exclamation point. I feel like the highlight could just end here. It felt like it was over.
Oh, good. We spoke about that. They had enough highlights in the first half to go through the whole game.
By the way, that was tied for the 3rd largest run in a clinching game since the play-by-play tracking began in the 90s.
This right here was crazy. This right here.
This is when you knew it was over.
This when you knew it was over, right there. Bam.
There was a couple of those moments, to be fair.
Well, this one was in the second quarter.
Yeah. I mean, it's you think about these point totals.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's
the Knicks are locked in when it's an elimination game or something. This is what they're doing is historical.
Yeah, well, to your point, against Atlanta in the elimination game, won by 51. Against Philadelphia, won by 30. And this one, 37. I mean, you average that out. Better than 39 points in these clinching games. Is that our average margin of victory?
Man, they are clicking.
Oh, gee.
Well, they have a plus 271 point differential in 14 postgame games in the season. That's the highest entering the NBA Finals.
It's like, what are you supposed to say to that? Like, you give a number, I'm like, that's not even real.
Yeah, shout out to Rodney for that.
You're going to say, analytically, we're right there. We're right there.
The analytics will tell you this is a Knicks win. They move on.
Take that to Cabo.
19 of 43 from distance in this game. 44% from the floor. I mean, the advantage that this team had. Knicks back in the NBA Finals. First time since 1999. They outscored Cleveland points in the paint, bench points, fast break points. Trust me, it wasn't close. Mike Brown is now the third coach in NBA history to lead a team to the NBA Finals, which is certainly impressive. Cavs later beat, by the way, later beat the same team to reach another NBA Finals, Cleveland. They got swept 4-0. Here's Jalen Brunson after the game.
Jalen, your teammates always talk about how you make them better. Just how have they helped you become this conference finals MVP?
They give me the confidence. They let me be me. I think most importantly, we all believe in each other from top to bottom. It's an honor to play with them, honestly.
What are you, Jalen, what are you most proud of about this group collectively?
Resilience. I think that we've been able to stay focused, stay composed. It starts at the top of the organization. It starts with Mr. Dolan, front office, coaches, all the way down to us. I mean, like I said, from top to bottom, it means something.
Congratulations to you, Jalen.
They're playing great basketball. You know, you just gotta give them credit. They're playing. They're on a heater. They're in a groove. Just got to give them a ton of credit. Congrats to Mike and their staff. And you know, I don't want to go like and detract from our, you know, what we've done this postseason. You know, I just I think sometimes you got to give the other team credit for playing great basketball.
Why do you think ultimately your group came up short of reaching the finals this year?
I don't, you know, I'll tell you what didn't help was losing those 2 game 6s. You know, haven't been in this, you know, kind of a long time and seen this before. I think you have to take advantage of those opportunities. And the way the scheduling's set up in the league, and you know, that's a whole nother topic I could go off on. You get on a hectic schedule, and that's not to say, oh, we win those games, you know, we beat the Knicks. I'm not saying that, but I think it gives us a better chance. But I think the density of the frequency of the games, with it never had 2 days rest, you know, the whole deal, you know, played a part in it. Definitely, I'm not going to say that's the reason we lost, but we would have had a better chance. I think we win, you know, we take care of business in those game 6s. I think that's the, if I have one regret, that, you know, 2 regrets, I guess you'd say.
Chris. Hey, Kenny.
Chris.
What are the emotions like as a coach when a season that you were proud of ends the way that this one did?
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I mean, disappointed for the group. You know, listen, from a coaching standpoint, you know, normally you'd say, man, I wish we had, you know, player-wise roster. I wish we had this. You know, we didn't have this. I can't say that. You know, ownership and front office gifted us with a wonderful roster, talented roster. You know, so I feel bad. You know, I feel bad for the group. You know, because you want to fulfill, you know, your expectations first of all. So, you know, that's disappointing. I'll turn it positive though. We took a step. We took a step. You know, this is kind of how this works. You have to keep climbing. We are going in, you know, obviously a positive direction. You know, fell short. You know, there's no bigger motivator, right, to get to the next level. You know, I think of this off season and development, how we the sacrifice we're going to need to, you know, make to get to the next level. But, I'm proud of this group in terms of how they fought through adversity. You know, 1-2 game sevens. We took a step. I think we took a step mentally, from a mental toughness point of view. You know, so I'm going to kind of lean on that. And again, we all know there's another 2 steps really you got to take if you know that's the ultimate goal.
There's obviously a tough reality in the NBA. You guys have the highest priced roster. You're the only team in the second apron, and it's hard to stay there financially. How concerned are you that changes could come this offseason based on what happened in this series, and including your job security?
Listen, I have confidence in myself, first of all, confidence in the group, the roster talk. You know, that's for down the line. You know, our front office has done a phenomenal job. Like I said, giving us a great roster. You know, obviously there'll be decisions to be made, like every summer. But I think we're doing pretty well with those decisions since I've been here. So just keep trusting our process, trust our collaboration.
Well, to Coach's point, the Cavaliers are going to have some really hard decisions this offseason. Knocking on the door, so close to trying to win an NBA championship right before the trade deadline, making the big splash for James Harden and falling just short. But you can see the excitement. Knicks fans have to be loving this. The history and tradition around...
Yeah, we know.
We know.
There's a couple of us inside the building.
He's just happy as a clam. I don't even know what that means.
You threw this out here a little bit earlier. You said, like, they're playing as well as anyone, maybe the best basketball of any team. Yeah. I know both of you guys have loved what OKC has done the entire season, what San Antonio has done this entire season. Is it me, or does it feel like the Knicks may have an advantage? This is a 9-game layoff heading into this series. Sharp. Pull off a sweep. 9-game layoff. June 3rd is game 1 of the finals. If the Western Conference Finals goes 7, it's going to be like this the rest of the way. It feels like this is setting up nicely right now for New York.
I mean, the way the Western Conference Finals is going, it's super physical. Yeah. It's a battle. It's a real battle on the Western Conference. So, you know, I think they'll be the beneficiary of a tired team, whatever team that may be. They get to rest. They get to kind of watch both teams and see how they, you know, during the season, what worked for them.
Sure. Going
against them. But, yeah, those guys are beating up on each other pretty bad in the Western Conference. It's really competitive. And, you know, you have a team on the other side that pretty much did work early. And they're just figuring out how to beat either one of them, whichever happens.
You know, stylistically, you always think about IT, and you've talked about this on the show. The matchups, it's meaningful. You might have a team that's really dominant, and maybe it's just a bad matchup. The way the Knicks have been able to pull off some of these wins, it feels like they can beat you in different ways. Mm-hmm. The depth of this roster has been there. The three-point shooting has been there. The evolution of Cat as a distributor has been there. We know they can win with Brunson in isolation. What's the Achilles heel for this team?
I think the biggest thing for them in their success throughout this time is, you know, we've always known them as a defensive group. But offensively, they're playing different than they did in the regular season. So it was all eyes on Jalen Brunson all year long, and even early on in the playoffs. Now that they got Karl-Anthony Towns in a position where he's impacting winning other than scoring, playmaking, rebounding, being able to get others involved, it's opened it up and made things easier for everybody else. Now, Mikal Bridges just has to hit open shots. OG's hitting his open shots. Josh Hart has been hitting jump shots. When this team is hitting jump shots, on top of all the things that they do really well is attacking the paint, defending at a high level, being able to defend multiple positions, it says a lot because we haven't seen this team, this Knicks team with this style of play this consistent for this long. And it says a lot about their coaching staff and their organization and the adjustment of the players this late in the season. So it's a lot that's going on over there, but they're, like we said earlier, they're playing the best brand of basketball no matter what's happening, matchups, other teams, playing 6 or 7 games, them not playing or them having rest. It really doesn't matter when you're talking about the New York Knicks.
Yeah. The job that Mike Brown has been able to do with this team, Rudy, what stands out for a guy that's got experience, has done really well as a head coach, but he wasn't the first option. I don't know if he was the second or even third option. Knicks, remember last offseason, were getting rejected by teams. They wanted to go and talk to different coaches. That didn't happen, but yet it didn't matter. Mike Brown's led them to the finals.
Well, I mean, this is a guy that's done it before. And, it took some time, for his philosophy to work. This is the same team that, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, Cat didn't really understand his role.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's it just goes to show, trusting the process and becoming one. I think this team has had 3 different teams within this season.
Yeah.
It took a minute for Mike Brown to understand his team. It took a minute for this team to understand Mike Brown. So, this is the benefits of sticking with it, being mature, and also being a professional. So, we already knew they had the talent. They were 1 win away last year.
Yeah.
Just them being more cohesive as a team has really, really gotten them to the next level. And, who knows what happens in the next series, whoever that might be they're playing against. But, they've done a really good job of transforming their team.
An 11-game winning streak right now for the New York Knicks. You said 1 game away to getting to this point, a season to go. They are 4 wins away now from winning their first NBA championship
There we go.
in 53 years. Some of the sights and sounds from tonight's game. We got some more reactions still to come here on NBA TV. At 2 games apiece for the New York Knicks. And yes, their first finals appearance since 1999. And one of the key contributors to this team, Josh Harden, goes for 6 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Joins us right now. The hat, it's got to feel good to be wearing that. What's it like for you, Josh, to be a part of what is truly a historic Knicks team?
Man, it's a great feeling. Obviously, we can't be satisfied. We got another series to go, but we'll enjoy this tonight and get back to work tomorrow.
Josh, what's up? This is Rudy, man. I don't know if you can see me. Oh.
Yep.
Man, with this win, y'all the 5th team in history to win 11 straight games in the postseason. Tell me, what is the formula for that, man? Because it seems like a totally different team.
Yeah, I think it's just the character of the guys in the locker room. I don't think we really care who gets the attention or the accolades or anything like that. We want to win. And we know everyone has a talent that they can bring to the table, and we're willing to sacrifice.
Jay Hart, this is IT, bro. Your fellow vet from the Lakers days when you wasn't thinking about no finals appearance. but quick question. June 3rd is the start of the finals. How do you stay in rhythm with knowing you guys have a long break? What is your routine? I know you guys the last couple series have had a semi-break going into the next series. What's your philosophy on staying in the rhythm?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a couple of glasses of Bordeaux tonight. I'll do that, and then tomorrow, get right back to the recovery. Normatec. I got a red light bed at the house. I got a sauna at the house. I'm gonna do those. Continue to get shots up, ice tub, stuff like that. So just making sure my body's ready. As you know, it's hard to replicate game shots, in practice, especially this late in the season. But just get and be confident.
You got a whole recovery house.
Oh yeah, he knows.
Hey, guys,
I got to, man. Y'all know y'all get a little older, man. The league younger and younger.
I'm glad, by the way, you're celebrating with a Bordeaux blend because I usually watch the games with a large glass of Cab with me here. So I'm that's probably the only similarity that I have in terms of the what.
I never got the invite.
Next time,
we know about invites.
Right. I'll bring the bottle next time as we're watching this thing. But just explain to me, as Knicks fans watch this season unfold, Josh, and you lived it. It wasn't a straight line of success. I mean, even in the postseason, that series against Atlanta, but there's been some ups and downs. How did you guys come together? And just in terms of the evolution, this is. I think Rudy had said it. This feels like a different team right now than it did earlier in the postseason, and then certainly the one that we saw during the regular season.
Hey, by the way, Josh, you're going to have to excuse my friend. He's geeked up. He's from New York. So,
So I'm a little fired up. I remember that 99
He's up on goofballs right now.
And the 94 one.
Man, we good. I mean, Rudy, IT, y'all been in it, for a long time. Y'all know that you want to be playing your best basketball at the end of the year. There's going to be peaks and valleys, during the season. That's why you just try to consistent try to stay even keel because, you trust in the habits that you're building. And if, those are true championship habits, they're going to show at the end of the year. So we just continue to trust in our work, continue to build those habits. And right now you just kind of see, us playing our best basketball right now.
Yeah. Jay, this is Rudy again. What explain to us what influence Mike Brown has had for y'all? Obviously, this is, like we said, it's a totally different team this year than it was early this year. But it's a totally different team from last year. So just what was his influence this year and what led up to this right now?
Yeah, he's someone who, you love to play for. He's someone that's going to put you in the right positions to be successful. He's willing to listen to whether other coaches or, guys on the team, us, into, what we think, we need in terms of whether that's rest, recovery, those kind of things, or, the flow of the offense, flow of the defense, stuff like that. So, he's been huge just because he's been a sounding voice and someone who's, listening to us and doesn't mind taking a back seat and, letting other guys, shine.
Hey, Josh, congratulations again. Before we let you get going, I couldn't help but notice your games at Madison Square Garden, the celebrities in full force. In Cleveland, they showed up for this game as well. Is there one celebrity while you're playing that you just kind of do a double take and go, damn, he's a Knicks fan too?
I don't know. It's tough. Honestly, I really love the, obviously, Tracy, Spike, Ben, Timmy, seeing those guys all the time, Al, seeing those guys consistently, I think that's the biggest thing. For me, you can look over once and see someone go to a game, but, are they really in it? Do they really love it? And those guys are diehard Knicks fans, and you just love and appreciate those guys. Tracy also, appreciate those. Ty Joe, I don't want to leave no one out, but those are diehard fans.
Well done, name checking all of them. Josh, continued success, man. Get it done in the finals and enjoy a couple days off.
Yeah, send me that Bordeaux.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Good luck.
Oh yes,
bro.
sir. Got some little pen, baby. We good.
Okay.
Josh Hart, once again, a Knicks win for him. And to me, it's funny because I'm actually glad that you asked that question because it was a 90-day layoff heading into that Philly series, into the Cleveland series. Now we're going to see it just again. Do you change your routine? Because not for nothing, game one in this series against Cleveland, they're down 22 points with 7:40 to go in that fourth quarter. They needed an epic run here. It did feel like the layoff, it hurt them a little bit in that game one.
Yeah, it did. And I think anybody who's been in these positions, yeah, you want rest, but you don't want too much rest because it does mess up your rhythm a little bit as a team as well. So, but they've been used to it the last, couple rounds. Hopefully they stay in rhythm, stay in routine, and be ready for the final.
I think more than anything, they're just going to have to hold their excitement. Look, the whole city's going to be behind them.
Yeah.
They're going to be ready to go. They're going to have a tough series ahead of them, depending upon who it is they're playing. And they're just going to have to hold their excitement and just get the jitters out of there. I've never been to this point, but I could imagine, it's something that is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and they just have to, focus and just play the game.
Yeah, it's going to be different over the next 9 days. June 3rd will be game number 1, awaiting the winner once again between OKC and San Antonio. Meanwhile, just hitting the podium a few minutes ago, James Harden, who goes for 12 points. He was just 2 of 8 from the floor. He's addressing the media.
Hey, James.
What's up?
What do you feel like this series ultimately came down to?
I'll say shot making. I think that they made shots. Some obviously, some open, and some just tough shots. And I don't think we made really any. It's pretty much pinpointed.
When you came here, you were talking about championship. For this organization, they haven't been this far, conference finals, since 2018. They haven't been here without LeBron in more than 30 years. So when you look at those two realities, how are you processing this?
think we accomplished a lot. Still short of the goal, but I think we accomplished, getting to the conference finals. And there's another level to get to, maybe 2 levels to get to. I think a lot of that is just, maybe our first time together and, the first 2 series we had opportunities to handle the series much quicker. And we didn't take advantage of it, which, trickled down to having to go 2 Game 7s, which is difficult to now face a team who's, offensively playing extremely well and rested. So it's a little frustrating, but I think the, being here 2.5, 3 months is, that team's been together for some years. So, which you still don't get brownie points for it, but, I think we're in a good space and we got some work to do, but, we had a good season.
You mentioned them being together for a long time, and you've also said since you got here, it's such a short time for you to get acclimated to them and them to get acclimated to you and stuff like that. Is it your hope that this group remains together, and do you believe that the outcome will be different if it does?
Yeah, we're a very, very talented group, Like I said, you go through, we don't have the experience with, playing amongst each other in postseason basketball. So literally it's our first time going through whatever we were going to go through. And I think we accomplished a lot, winning a Game 7 at home, winning a Game 7 on the road, and getting to the conference finals. Now we have to take another 2 steps, starting this summer, but take another 2 steps and being even better. Now you get a full season of understanding what we have as a group and setting ourselves up, positioning-wise, for better. Being a 4th seed it's tough, So, you take a step at a time.
Well, just for you personally, kind of self-assess your playoff run, and just kind of in general how you fit in with this group. How do you feel? How do you take away from it?
I think I did pretty good, I don't grade myself off shot making. I think coming here was just a piece to fulfill whatever needs to be fulfilled, and defensively being extremely solid, offensively, getting guys shots and fitting into a system that was already in place. So I think I did good. Obviously I could have been better. I feel like I always could be better. But I know one thing, that I work extremely hard. You know what I'm saying? And things just don't go the way you would like them to. As far as shot making. But I think as being as seasoned that I am and experienced that I am, I try to impact the game in other ways. Just because I know that we are capable. When I'm not making shots, we're still capable of winning games, and we did that. So. Also just, from, regular season playing, 34 minutes to, I don't know if I led the playoffs in minutes, but, close to, playing a lot of minutes a game. So the transition was a little different, and I got to prepare myself for it.
Hey, James, Kenny's taking a lot of criticism with you guys getting swept. What have you learned about him in your time with him, and how do you think he did as a coach for you guys in these playoffs?
Ultimate player's coach. He gets it. He understands. He understands his team, and of course, somebody's going to have to take the criticism, whether it's myself or Kenny or whoever, the entire team, whoever. Somebody's they're gonna put it on somebody. But I think for Kenny, he did an unbelievable job of getting me acclimated as fast as possible to, understanding what I was supposed to be doing out there. And, it's just an unfortunate situation. Any team coming off a tough two series against 2 defensive monsters, it would have been challenging. And I don't necessarily, maybe the first 3 quarters we played well. I don't even know if the first half in the first game 1. I think maybe that 3rd quarter we played well, we actually made shots. And then other than that, I don't necessarily can remember a quarter where we actually made shots, like as a group, which is like, you're not going to win against any team. So it's just that's a little frustrating because we did play so well and we put ourselves in positions to be successful. It just didn't end up that way.
Heading into this series,
Another rough performance for James Harden, 7 of his 18 games in this postseason. More turnovers than field goals in those matchups, 33 now in his career in the playoffs. Mayor of New York, Donnie, how about this? New York Sanitation might be sort of busy. I'll tell you what, if the Knicks go and win an NBA championship, that parade, the sanitation crew is going to be working overtime.
Sure.
Got more to come here on the association. Knicks pulling off a sweep against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They will play in their first NBA Finals since 1999. We get some more reaction from Cleveland still to come here on NBA TV. Sure, that Knicks squad goes for 15 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists in 31 minutes. Got an opportunity to just kind of watch late in that fourth quarter. Teams sweep the conference semis and conference finals. We will find out what the destination is going to be for the New York Knicks, who are now just 4 games away from winning their first NBA championship in 53 years. Here's their head coach, Mike Brown.
You have to look back, but was there a point this season where you felt like the group made a collective decision that they were going to come together and not start doing the right things, but they were going to make a decision to get to this point? Like after maybe the 2-9 stretch in January where Dolan says you got to make the finals or else or whatever, was there any point that you felt like they're starting to get it and it's less my voice and more of their voice?
It's a great question. That's good. Down the stretch, there was always a little bit of a question, whether or not we'd be able to get over the hump, But down the stretch of the regular season, I don't know, 6-7 games to go after Landry got back. I think I started to see us play some good basketball and do some things. Do more things that were selfless or more sacrificing from the group. So maybe then, but throughout the course of the season, you have your ups and you have your downs and you have your good and your bad and your adversity that you have to fight through. And sometimes we got through it quickly. Sometimes it took us a minute to figure it out. So probably towards the end of the season when I was like, okay, I can feel it. This group they're right where we need to be at the right time of the year.
Mike, you talked during the year about the ups and downs you're going to go through. Just what you've done of this 11 games, historic numbers. Is this the peak here? Are you seeing that peak that you kind of hoped you'd get to?
Yeah, I mean, our group they're playing good basketball. And they're doing it in different ways, They're doing it differently depending on who our opponent is. And when you show that type of versatility on both ends of the floor, it just adds to your belief. And I've said it before, the regular season, you use the regular season to get ready for the postseason. And our guys did a hell of a job with that. Thank you, guys.
Well, you heard what Mike Brown had to say after a Knicks win. They take the Eastern Conference Finals, they sweep the Cavaliers, and they wait. The winner of the Western Conference Finals, OKC and San Antonio, sitting at 2 games apiece. Is there a matchup better, Rudy, in your mind, for the Knicks between those two squads?
Well, they already beat San Antonio in the Cup, so I think they're more familiar with them and more familiar with playing them on a grand stage and also beating them. So I think for them, but do I think it's the same kind of game or same kind? No, the series is totally different. I'm not sure, but I know this team is super competitive, and they've already proved us wrong. And I don't think anybody thought that they'll be here in this fashion. So, I can't wait to watch whatever it is, either one. And I didn't answer your question because I can't. But either way, it'll be a fun series.
But I think you're right about this because they did play in the Cup, and that's obviously a big moment. But it feels like both of these teams are a little bit different. San Antonio, I think their path to get here, we've talked about them as one of the three best teams, probably the top two teams in the NBA. We haven't had that conversation about the Knicks. You started this show off by saying, like, hey, maybe they're the team to beat. Stylistically, is there a team that you think they match up better with?
I think they match up better with OKC. But I don't think they should just be like, we want OKC.
Totally.
Like, that's not an easy, that won't be an easy series. But anything like the Spurs Wemby's a tough matchup for anybody. And I don't think, obviously, nobody in the league has a Wemby other than the Spurs. So if I'm the Knicks, I would like to stay away from the Spurs just because that matchup is very difficult for anybody. But, I mean, you're welcome in both teams. You feel comfortable being able to beat both teams in a 7-game series. And I don't think you shy away from any of the opportunity with either team.
If I told you before the season that the Knicks would get to the NBA championship and the choices would be San Antonio, OKC, and your response to my question would be like, yeah, they maybe match up against OKC a little bit better. Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
Like the Thunder they're looking for repeat champs. They got SGA out on the floor. There's depth that's there. I know injuries are a little bit of concern for the squad, but I think it speaks volumes to just how a season can unfold for some of the best teams in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, a San Antonio team. Especially for the Knicks, I think them having Steph Castle, who's a dog on defense, can do it on both ends. And then also have Wemby to clean up plays with their makeup, I think it's just easier. It'll be easier for them to play against OKC.
Not to belabor the point here, because I think that this is going to be a major storyline heading in. And I know I asked you this question about the time off. I would love to get your take from players, and you guys can both answer this. What do you do to stay sharp? I mean, this is a significant layoff. You guys sitting here chilling for 9 days. You can't really mimic, right? Game play. It's just not the same, especially the playoff intensity. How do you stay sharp for a team that has been on fire from the perimeter?
Well, I mean, this is a team that's watching another series. They're 2-2, so it's going to be, it's going to be some more basketball to watch. But also staying in tune with your routine or whatever that is. Waking up, there's going to be practice. There's going to be some competitive practices. You can't not practice or not have a competitive practice. But, there's a lot of basketball to watch. And they have to put themselves in a situation where they be able to play against either one. So that's a coaching thing.
I think it's going to be tough, but at the same time, they're professionals. They're going to stay in routine. Like Rudy said, they're going to continue to have practice. Yeah, it won't be live a lot. It won't be live reps a lot, but they will have segments throughout these practices where they get up and down and they can simulate a real type of game and who they're going to play against. But other than that, it's just staying in rhythm, staying focused. The mind is the sharpest tool you got. So, like, keeping that sharp as you can and just, rest and recover as much as you can. But knowing that, even with rest, you want to get out there and play.
Yes.
Look, dominant performance from this Knicks squad. They got to figure out how they want to stay sharp ahead of game number 1 of the NBA Finals.
Just the feelings that you guys have talked so many times about, not letting go of the rope, not celebrating early, to now be out on that court surrounded by Knicks legends and getting that trophy. Just kind of the feelings of what you had out there.
I mean, it feels good. I mean, we're excited. We're happy we won. But we're also not satisfied. And just now we're going to celebrate tonight. But then once tomorrow comes, start resting and then preparing for the next round.
What? Oh, I mean what he said, but this team's hungry, and that's the most important thing. Even with an amazing historical win we had tonight, the celebrations were minimal. We really want to get back to work. Ask Coach, can we get back to work quick? We know what happened last time we had a long layoff, so we already talked after the game right away about preparing. Getting to practice, getting back to the work. It's what's made us special. It's what's going to give us a chance to win the next series.
Carl, speaking of that long layoff, you're going to be in a similar situation where in the West you have two teams, it's all tied up. They're going to be battling it out in a long series, and you guys are going to be waiting. And you saw sort of that early letdown in game 1 of this series. What specifically did you learn that's not going to happen this time around?
I mean, we just, obviously rust will be a thing, just not having shot in an NBA game in a while. But we'll do a better job this time around of just preparing for that kind of situation to happen. I think that obviously the coaching staff did an amazing job getting us ready for game one, but obviously we just didn't go out there and shoot well. I think that looked up one point. We were at 4% from three. So we just got to figure out a way to get those kind of game-like reps. I think the coaching staff heard us loud and clear. We want to get back to work to keep the rhythm and also maybe change up the philosophy of how we have those, scrimmages that we had last time that we didn't do last time. So I think we'll be better prepared. But at the end of the day, it's all about execution, desperation, energy. We got to bring it game one.
Guys, congratulations. Jalen wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP. What is it about?
What a wild surprise.
What is it about his style of leadership? Mike compared him to Steph Curry, to Tim Duncan. Just like when you guys see him day to day, what about his leadership is special?
I think he just puts the work in. You know, he has like we always talk about. That's what I think not only makes all of us special because all of us are putting work, but he also really puts the work in. And I know if you know JB's merch line and everything like that, it's always about the magic's in the work. He is a testament of that. He believes in that. He showcases that every single day to all of us, and it drives us all to be better.
Yeah, what he said. I mean, he works hard every day, and then the results speak for himself.
Carl, you guys are basically statistically the best playoff team of all time, the best shooting playoff team of all time. Has there been any point in this stretch where you're like taken aback or shaking your head at just how well you guys are shooting or how well you guys are playing, or just kind of amazed at how well this has gone so far?
I mean, no, because we put the work in. Me and OG up here, we see each other putting that work in every single day. Countless hours, the hours that don't get documented, the hours you don't see on social media. The hours we dedicate away from our families, for a lot of the guys in the locker room, their kids, their wives. It's adamant. It shows. It shows in this run we've had that a culmination of all the hours dedicated to our crafts have led us to be in this moment.
Hi, OG. Congratulations on making the finals game. 8 years ago in this arena, LeBron hit the game winner over you when you were still with Toronto. Now with this team, you're on the other side of a sweep against Cleveland. Is it a full circle moment for you? What does it mean for you for this week to you, like personally?
Oh, not really a full circle moment because it's a different team, different situation. But I mean, it's amazing to, we have a great team. Amazing for us to come out and play the way we played. We put in a lot of work. We're very well coached and very well prepared. And it's showing on the court, the way we're playing offensively, defensively, the way we're executing, and we play for each other. We're a very together team, and we just want to see each other succeed.
OG,
A couple more guys.
You had an injury early on in this postseason. You were able to come back. You're playing, I think, the best basketball that I've ever seen you play. What is it that's different with your body? Is this the best you felt the deepest into the season, and what's that yielding?
Yeah, I mean, I prepare, like Kat said, just hours in the gym, in the weight room preparing. We have a great medical staff. I work extensively with Andy Barr, Andrew Small, and Anthony Chico, our trainer, and I'm just always with them, always getting extra treatment. And then in the weight room preparing, Ty and Shimon, we work really hard, and I feel great, I feel amazing, and yeah.
Carl, a couple of us were talking to Clyde on the court after, and he was talking about that you guys remind him of the championship teams because it can be anybody on any night.
Mm-hmm.
That so many pieces are clicking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of, what do you see in that Jalen got the MVP, but talks immediately about teammates, how it's all of you?
I mean, we've gotten to this point because we've worked together. We've been a team. We've been unified.
So the Knicks victorious, pulling off a sweep. Back-to-back sweeps now against Philadelphia and Cleveland. You can see the winning streak now, 11 games. We'll find out if they're going to be able to handle business in the NBA Finals against either OKC or San Antonio. Off air, I was asking Rudy and IT about the time down and how you best utilize it. I think for most fans, you sit there and you just say, hey, like, what's happening on the floor physically, practice, getting up those shots, but off the floor, both OG and Kat are talking about some of the lonely work that they're doing, the preparation. How do you best utilize and take advantage that the Western Conference is still going on for at least a few more games?
Well, I think every person's different. Some people are late night. Like I remember playing with him after practice. Before practice he'll get his shots, and after practice he'll just literally work on what he had to work on every day for about an hour and a half, and that was his thing. That's what he did. Everybody kind of has their own kind of routine of how they want to do things. I would probably shoot after him. I would, shoot the breeze with the players and then come back. So it's different ways. Everybody does it their own way. I just think right now with the time they have in between these games, people are going to have to stick to their routines and continue to keep themselves in it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so superstitious, too. Like, I'm not changing nothing up. I'm trying to do the same routine each and every day. And I think most guys are like that. Like, you got so much idle time in between this that you're just trying to keep your mind occupied and focus on what's the ultimate goal, and that's winning a championship. And I think those guys will do that. Yeah. The coaching staff will get them guys in position, and they'll find time to rest and recover, but stay at it.
All right, some bonus reaction from Cleveland right now from a Knicks perspective. The Villanova 3 sitting at the podium and addressing the media.
Handle these closeout games in such dominant fashion.
Obviously we've been playing hard, mixing a little luck as well. But I think most importantly, we're becoming focused and just focusing on one possession at a time, and just playing hard for that possession and worrying about the stuff, the future later. And we've been locked in on the moment, and I think we need to continue to do that.
Talking to Mike earlier when he was on the podium, and he said the last maybe handful of regular season games, he felt like you guys started to turn a corner, making a collective decision to play with championship habits. Did you guys feel it the same way, or did you feel like just a switch flipped after Game 3 in Atlanta?
I don't think a switch flipped, per se. I just think that was the start of the habits that we were building really starting to show. This team is a very selfless group, and at the end of the day, we know we're willing to sacrifice our own individual performance or stats or accolades for the betterment of the team. And when you have not just 1, 2, or 3, but a whole team of those kind of guys and that kind of character, it puts you in a position to be successful.
Don't say anything. I see it. Don't say anything. I know. He's still.
And then you're gonna come in sucking your fingers. You got chicken wings. You're supposed to be asking questions. You went and got chicken wings. No, you don't get none. Oh man, them wings are hitting though. They hitting, yeah.
For any of you guys, Clyde was talking to a couple on the court, talking about that you guys remind him of his championship teams because it can be anybody on a night. That it's just Jalen got the MVP, but immediately talks about teammates. That it could be any of you guys. Is that kind of a special feeling that it feels like it's something where it's all of you?
Okay. Yeah, 100%. I think it's important that.
You got the MVP.
No. He hasn't. He's there. No, he's there.
He got the MVP.
Why'd you ruin it for him?
Because.
Why'd you ruin that? No. Probably what Jalen was about to say, but yeah, we all agree. And it's great. And Josh said we selfless, and I think everybody out there is just trying to do one thing is win. So no matter who's scoring, who's doing anything, I think we all just trying to play hard, and at the end of the day, just trying to get a Knicks win.
I guess that's for whoever wants to answer. The storied alumni that have supported you all the way through, from Clyde to Starks, from Melo to Marbury, they all say that they're living vicariously through you guys. Some of them haven't been able to reach this stage. Just what does it mean to you guys to be able to represent that level of alumni and make it this far in the season?
Sid, you got it?
Nope.
You the MVP?
Let me go. Josh got it.
Josh got it? He's the captain.
it truly means a lot because of when they're out there, when they're on the sidelines or baselines or whatever, they make their presence known, and they're full of energy, and that's just who they are. They just want the best for us, and it's a really cool sight to see. It's an honor playing for this organization, the history it has, and then seeing the former players around all the time, and that makes it even more special.
Jalen, for you personally, your dad obviously was a Knick, and you came here at a time when the franchise wasn't in the greatest of spots to see where they are now, and the fact that you've kind of led the way. What does that mean that for someone who kind of grew up part of his childhood in the area to kind of be the face of this reemergence?
I think first and foremost it means a lot that the belief that the organization has in me, from Mr. Dolan down to Leon, Wes, coaching staff, and obviously my teammates. It means a lot, and it's something I haven't really put into perspective and thought about, because as I said before, now we're still writing our story, and so I think in due time I'll be able to answer that in full entirety. But I like the journey that we're on right now.
I have two questions, one for Jalen and then one for either Mikal or Josh. Jalen, Pat and Clyde handed you both trophies. I know you've got to know them both very well, but I guess in that moment, are you able to kind of like internalize just how cool that was?
Not really until you said it. I think it's really cool. Like I said before, like having all the former players around, and their presence is known, and they don't say a lot, but like they're just always around to support. And so it's really cool to have those guys around, especially the guys with those caliber. And but it's not even just them; it's everybody.
You're just looking at the plus minus. You're looking at this box score, man. No one in the negative.
Yeah, everybody contributed to a win today, man. It was written in the stars.
Yeah, a dominant victory. Meanwhile, we got some more coverage of what has transpired. You can check it out on the